Hi everyone, this is Psychic Guidance for October. So in these monthly readings, they're not like a usual psychic reading I would have with someone in person or on Skype. They're more oracle card based. But as I draw the cards and I prepare energetically, connect with the angels and so on, then the psychic insight starts to unfold and come through, and then the higher energies facilitate messages and healing through the cards, through my words, through the messages. Okay, so my intention for these monthly readings is to draw on the universal energies, the cosmic energies, to figure out or get messages as to what the vibe is, what is happening, where are we on our collective, universal and personal journeys. Okay, what is it, looking at it from a higher perspective? And so I'm starting with this card here, growth, because I feel that that's really on a deep soul level. This is what is happening to all of us collectively, but we can all relate personally. We all have our own story. We are all on our own journeys, and we are all on our own little part of our journey. And at the same time, we are very much influenced by energies outside of ourselves, and other energies around us, and we're drawing to us what we are putting out energetically ourselves, and it can be a bit of a roller coaster at times. So September was a really difficult month. It was hugely intense. I wrote about it in my last newsletter. This month I'm feeling new doorways opening. I'm feeling like a breakthrough. So I'm feeling it's a lot more clearer. There'll be better energy. Not to say that there won't be grumblings of negative energy sort of behind the scenes too. I mean, I was feeling that so intensely in September. But there's like a breakthrough. Okay, so I'm drawn to the eggs, and I'm just in the nest here in this image, and I'm feeling like the message from that right now is it's like we are like an egg being born and being rebirthed. We're being cradled and nestled in a nest and preparing for a new beginning. This light is offering healing and growth, and I'm very much feeling the angels around this. It's signifying our growth as a soul in general, and at the end of this cycle of 9 years that we're all in collectively this year, but also in your own personal cycles as well, for we've all got our own numbers and cycles and things that are happening. So growth and transformation through the butterfly wings there as well. Also that green healing energy, like I mentioned last month, there is definitely a continuation of the heart chakra. So light coming in and healing and growth in our hearts and our heart energy centers. And also transferring into not only ourselves, which is really needed, for everything starts with ourselves when it comes to healing, but also spreading out to others and in relationships. So I'll talk about relationships a bit later on. Okay, so I feel that the cycles that we've been in, so this year, as we know, is a major year for release, because I've talked about it a lot this year. If you're new to me, just have a look on my website. Join my newsletter, and watch some of my videos or whatever you feel drawn to. But we're releasing. There was a lot that came up to the brim last month in September. And generally throughout this year, we're cleansing and processing stuff that was buried so far down that you didn't want to look at it, you didn't want to think about it, or you're pushing it down, or you're too busy, or it's all too much, all too emotional, came up to the surface. Okay, this is the process this year, but particularly in September, it was quite intense with that. So you would have felt this coming up to the brim feeling, or it could be something hidden that was revealed, amplified by the eclipses. There were a couple of eclipses that month as well. So definitely really experienced that myself as well. So all this is leading to a process of transformation when we look on it on a higher level, okay? So, which is really important. So I'm feeling that this month there is a bit of a fresh start, new beginnings. It's a time of fertility, to think about what we want, to manifest things in our life, to become the magician in our life, to magically manifest that which we desire. We can tap back into that, because that has felt a bit blocked in recent times because of all the intense energy that's been there, and it's been harder for us to feel that clarity. But that has the potential for coming to those who are ready for that at this time. The doorways are definitely open to that. It's funny that I just said doorways, because just as I put this card here now, I've noticed the two doorways here. which again reminds me of the number 11. If you've watched past videos, I've talked about that before. And look, here's another card that reinforces that. Isn't that interesting? Also the number 7 here being a highly spiritual number. This is about healing, and we're in a big process of healing right now. So allow the angels to work with you, call upon them, ask for healing from the spiritual realms and for higher beings of light who are there for us. I feel that selenite is a great crystal for us to use this month if you have one. It will help with cleansing and clarifying and nice clear energy there, and it's a very protective crystal too. So entering the doorways of change as we go through all these cycles. There's definitely a sense of transition between cycles and between the seasons. Obviously there's been a season change too, and some climate changes there. Where we're heading into is a sense of wholeness, is a sense of completion and a completion of a cycle. And that will also lead, which is important, will either lead to acceptance, or one of the great lessons for us to learn is acceptance. Acceptance of our past, acceptance of that which has made us feel like we're suffering or being victimized, acceptance of life and our reality. Once we accept things and the cards that have been, if you like, drawn for you in your life, or that's how you feel, accepting that this is your life, this is what you chose here as a soul before incarnation to come here to do, to be, to experience. If you accept it, it's so much easier to embrace life and move on and move forward and not be so buried and stifled and stuck in the past, okay? So it's letting go of the past. Huge theme. Know that you are safe and protected during this time of change. Just be aware of the moon cycles. There should be a full moon mid-month. Actually, it's in Aries, which is great. I'm in Aries myself, so that will bring in that will also reinforce this kind of new energy of refreshment and new beginnings, but also much releasing needing to be done. So just notice your energy during that time. Notice what has been peeling back in your life, what has been revealed, what is being, what sort of deceit or lies or illusions have been sort of cast that you've noticed, especially through from September's energy. Lifting off that veil and beginning to breathe more and re-enter your spiritual self, drawing in the light from the higher dimensions, opening up that crown chakra, which is our energy center that's bringing in the divine and allowing ourselves to be re-centered and back on track. There's definitely a feeling of being back on track that you might have been feeling, or you might feel at times like the oddball, okay? Like what I'm drawn to in this card is, see this unicorn here? He feels like the odd one out, okay? The one that's different, or the one that's highly sensitive and attuned to things going around, and while the other ones are not, or looking another way, or they're in that big jumble of the mass crowd. The status quo, okay? So that is about your higher awareness also, and it's just outlining that you as your own person being unique and having your own unique talents and gifts, and not to put yourself down, okay? Do not put yourself down. I feel like I'm speaking to someone out there. You've been putting yourself down, you've been sort of hiding, you're not feeling like you're appreciated or seen in the world, and I feel a sadness with that, and I'm here to tell you that I see you. Namaste, I embrace you, and everything will be okay, and just to work on that and work on coming out of your shell. Things will get better. So be strong, cultivate that sense of inner strength and let that help you get through. This is for everyone. I'm sort of also feeling that feminine energy is being challenged last month compared with the male energy, so you'll know what that means in your life. Whether that's with regard to certain males or just the male energy of this world and the oppressive masculine energy. The female energy, the divine feminine coming through and reminding us of our, whatever you want to call it. You can call it a goddessness, or, that sacred, intuitive, feminine, knowing self, wanting to be highlighted and reminded for you to go back into that and be back in your seat of power, which also brings up for me the solar plexus chakra, the energy center of your stomach, the seat of your power and control and intuition. So I mentioned before about relationships, so I'm really feeling that this month, if you're in a relationship, for many people, there'll be a strengthening of the bonds again. So there'll be a sense of sort of partnerships and healing and coming back together and forgiving and positive resolutions. And after all the sort of eruption of last month and sort of all the anxiety or the discord, sort of like a newness of your emotions coming through the other end. Which also relates to great intuitive insights. Allow the angels to help heal you and your relationships. You can call upon Archangel Raphael for healing, the angels in general, Chamuel for relationships to help you, or with a particular relationship that you have in mind. Okay. So we've had emotions really come up as a theme, and I feel like there have been a lot of Raphael cards here. Raphael, the healing angel, but I'm feeling in particular right now also healing with relationships, okay? You've been in a cycle of healing with relationships, whether you're in one or not. If you're not in a relationship, healing of those in the past who have wounded you, both intimate relationships as well as others, such as family, friends, and so on. So we can all relate to all of that. And also in current relationships if you're in one. So definitely call upon Archangel Raphael to help you out in any matters of healing and healing relationships this month, because that's what's coming through. Okay, so what else do I want to say about that? So letting go of old conflict. And I feel that justice will prevail. This is where we're heading to after all the eruptions from last month and in recent times. Fight for justice, fight for equality and what's right for you. And I feel that that card needs to be aligned here with this card that I already showed you before, the female strength, that you are needing to cultivate and develop and enter back into that archetype of the strong female warrior, goddess, and justice being aligned, okay? So also I'm just feeling, again, some heaviness with the masculine energy, which also for some of you might relate to oppressive systems or something to do with society or religion or organizational structures, corporations at work, that kind of thing, bosses, things that are not aligned for you. So yeah, don't give up and keep strong. Okay, so there's really a lot of energy for success and for victory and for breaking through, as I mentioned previously. Successful new beginnings, coming into your own, and also for some new partnerships or a new beginning in some way. A partnership could be relationship or work or friendship or just something else in your life. So continue to move forward in positive ways. It's kind of like you've been in the war and you come out of the bush with your bows and arrows and you're moving forward to the new, clearer, fertile pastures. Okay, so the Emperor card in traditional tarot represents sort of structure and society and firmness and foundations. Feeling here, it's also representing stability and knowing what you're doing and sort of keeping a firm rock in your beliefs and your goals, okay? A firm foundation from whence to come in the next while so that you can make ambitious plans and that they'll come into fruition, but also and preparing for the new. So sailboats of the past have gone and new sail ships are coming in is how it feels. So be optimistic and really harness this new energy coming to us, helping us. Also know that there are children. So if you have children or around children in some way, they are our messengers, our divine messengers. They are in need also of healing, but they also issue healing to us. So pay attention to the children around you and the messages that they have, for they are highly attuned, more so than us old cranky adults. Okay, so thanks for listening. I'll see you next month. I've got information about myself and so on under the video in the details. So namaste and see you again next month.